Hey everybody. So today I want to talk about the Ottawa Senators. Before we get into the video, I just quickly want to remind everyone to please hit that like button and give this video a thumbs up. It greatly helps out the channel. And if you're new, please hit that subscribe button and follow along for all my hockey content this season and all year round. So the Ottawa Senators, this is a team that deserves some serious credit for the way they're playing this season. Going into the year, I thought Ottawa was the clear-cut worst team in the league. And when you look at their roster on paper, they shouldn't be good. They do not have a good roster. They're a rebuilding team that's really fallen off over the last, couple of years. And they had virtually no expectations from pretty much anybody heading into this season, and I thought that they would run away with the first overall pick and the worst team in the league. So far this season, that has not been the case, as Ottawa is 11-11-1 on the year, currently only 3 points out of a playoff spot, and they're 7-3 in their last 10 games. This is a team that is putting up a fight. And despite the lack of talent on the roster, despite them not having expectations and everyone pretty much thinking that they're going to be terrible, they chose not to roll over and die. They could have come into this year, said, this is over before it begins. No one expects anything of us. We can play like garbage and no one's going to say anything because it's exactly what everyone thought would happen. And they've decided, you know what, we're going to be a team that doesn't just give up, that doesn't just roll over, and we're going to play tough games against good teams, and we're going to try and win as much as we possibly can. And that attitude has really helped them this season. And now look at them. They've got 11 wins already on the year. I thought it would be like Christmas time before Ottawa got to 11 wins this season. It's not even Thanksgiving yet, and they're at 11 wins. So Ottawa's really impressed me with the fight that they're putting up this year. They don't have a lot of star power on that team. They don't have. You look at that roster, and a lot of the names are guys that you barely would even recognize. But they don't care. They don't care that they're supposed to be an easy win. They're not. And they're not just going into games thinking that they're going to lose. They're going in thinking, let's ruin this other team's night tonight and pick up a win against a team that everyone thinks they should beat. So, I think Ottawa deserves a lot of credit. They're playing a lot better than I expected them to. They're getting much better goaltending than they did last season, which obviously is a huge help. Goaltending is a big part of winning in the NHL. They're getting better goaltending this year. JG Pageau is absolutely leading the way. He's got 13 goals on the season already, 19 points in 23 games, and he's plus 17. He's plus 17. You very rarely see heavy pluses on a team that's not supposed to be one of the better teams in the league. Generally, bad teams, players have really bad plus minuses. That is not the case this year. JG Pageau has been remarkable this season. Anthony Duclair is having an outstanding year with Ottawa. It looks like he might finally be arriving at the NHL level. He's got 10 goals and 5 assists for 15 points. Brady Tkachuk off to a great start in his second season with 8 goals and 14 points. Thomas Chabot picking up where he left off. Great young defenseman there for Ottawa to build around. He's got 14 points. Vlad Nemesnikov, since being traded over from the New York Rangers, is having a great start with Ottawa. He's been injured in a recent game, but since that move over to Ottawa, he's played a lot better. So there's not really, there's no star players here. There's no guys that are racking up over a point per game or anything like that. But they're winning as a team, and they're not just giving up. And that's a huge attitude to have for a team like Ottawa, and it's working. And they are finding ways to win games. They are beating teams that they necessarily shouldn't be beating on paper. And look at them, 3 points out of a playoff spot. Now, I think as the season goes along, I don't know if they can necessarily keep this up. I don't think they really have much of a shot to actually make the playoffs. I think teams like Tampa Bay are going to get better. Toronto is going to get better. And I don't see them necessarily actually pulling off making the playoffs this year. I think there are other teams as well, like the Rangers, that I think will end up ahead of them in the standings. But for right now, in the first 2 months of this season, I've been really, really impressed with Ottawa. They've played a lot better than I thought they would. And they're putting up a serious fight, and I think they deserve a lot of credit for that, because it would have been so easy for that team, with the lack of any expectations going into this year, to just say, that's it, we're done, the season's over before it begins, and just give up and be the worst team in the league. But they're not doing that, and I think they deserve a lot of credit for that. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, links to our Patreon and merch store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.